May numbers are in, and one of our leading indicators just flashed hot. Stick around for this video to find out what happened in Sun Valley real estate market in the month of May. It's June 2026, and we get to look at what happened in the month of May in the residential real estate market here in Sun Valley, Idaho. Let's open it up. Median sales price seems to be holding fairly steady. Now, I did notice when I looked at these numbers a little bit closer, we are seeing year to date that the median sales price is actually up compared to last year. We were somewhere around $925,000 last year. Median sales price has moved closer to $1 million through the month of May. Now, we've seen it be very stable over the last several months. I have a feeling we're starting to see summer months come into play. And let's take a look at the pending number that I think is driving some of these increased sales prices. Pending sales in May are a really, really healthy story, something that I think we can sort of celebrate. Now, if you're a buyer in this market, you need to be aware that the competition, again, is out there. You've got to have your sword sharpened, if you will. You need to be ready to act when the proper property that you've been looking for comes online. So we saw 53 pending sales in the month of May compared to 39 last May. And we saw 37 pending in April. So this story of the national headline that the real estate market is frozen. I see this everywhere. Real estate market is frozen. Prices are falling. Things like that. I think we've all seen those headlines or read those articles. We've got to get to the local market because that's where things play out. So the buyers are here, 53 pendings in the month of May. June and July and August tend to be very healthy months for us. So it's nice to see that the May flowers, if you will, began to bloom. Now let's take a look at the closings. So we had 39 closings in May compared to 33 last year, with 37 in April. Again, we are seeing these offers come to fruition and they are getting to the closing table. So from a real estate perspective, when we look at pending sales, to me, tell me what's coming down the pipe. What does the future real estate market look like for closings based on pendings? And the closings tend to tell me what has happened in the past. So nothing crazy here. I think we've seen offers get accepted and we've seen offers get to the closing table. Now, I want to pay attention to the uptick in pending sales in May, and let's just watch what happens in June and July as these, typically 30, 45-day closing windows are typical of a timetable to close real estate. Our active units are below last year's numbers. And now, while we did see a healthy uptick in the month of May this year, we are still below 2025 numbers. So when you think of the median price point moving up, it's not really a surprise to say, okay, is demand up? Check. Yes, it is. Are closings up? Yes, they are. And what's inventory doing? If inventory is not way up, then you're going to see pressure on prices. And my prediction for 2026 of seeing a rise in inventory has still not come to reality. And here we sit with lower inventory than we did this time last year. Now, you can tell June and July tend to be our peak months. It will be very interesting to see what happens in the next 60 days and know that I will keep you up to date on that. Our inventory ticked back a little bit, moving more towards a advantage to sellers. We've got about 5 months supply of inventory in this market right now. Again, what that means is if no new home came on the market, how long would it take for us to sell our current crop of inventory? And it would take us about 5 months to move through all of our inventory. Just a friendly reminder, in 2020, early 2021, we had less than 30 days supply of inventory. So that's how fast the market was moving at that time. We are clearly moving back towards a balanced market, but May did shift a little bit towards the sellers. What does this mean? This means sellers, your property should get an offer. Your property should be getting showings. If your property is not getting showings and hasn't received an offer, it's one of two things. You have a condition or a location issue, or you have a pricing issue. Location you cannot control, condition you can control to a degree, but you can certainly control your pricing. If you're not getting calls, it might have to do with the fact that the pricing is not where the buyers see the value. Buyers, yes, this means that the seller has a slight advantage, but we are seeing across the board sellers who are willing to make concessions, that are willing to negotiate to get a deal done. Now, multiple offers are still happening in this market. It's happening pretty frequently on a couple of my more recent offers that I've put in or been a part of. We've had to compete with other players. So know that it is a market that rewards a very strategic pricing plan from sellers, and it rewards a buyer who is ready to act fast and negotiate for a win. Our sales volume was up in the month of May, and again on the year this year, sales volume is actually up over last year. Positive 2026 here in Sun Valley, with the caveat of the inventory not rising to where I thought it would. But pending sales are up across the board. Our closed units are up, and that is leading to a higher sales volume across the board. Our days on market, we remain on the average about 120 days. So if you're going to list your house, just know that you've got yourself about 3 to 4 month window to get your property under contract and sold.
Now that we know what happened in May, if you're curious how these numbers might impact you and your real estate needs, I'm here to have a conversation with you. Thanks for sticking around for this video. If you find value in what I'm talking about here, please like and subscribe, and feel free to share these videos with friends and family. That's another Dry Fly Collective Real Estate video. I'll catch you next week.